Tickets are $40 for one or $75 for two. Enjoy Maccabee Pigfitter's award-winning barbecue, Jim and Nick's sides, drinks, and draft beer, all included in your ticket. Don't miss silent and live auctions and the Hudson Pool Ring event. Enjoy live music from the Black Warrior River Band. For more info and to purchase tickets, visit us online today. The views expressed in the following program do not necessarily represent the views of the staff and management of WVUA 23. Bringing you analysis and insight into the Crimson Tide. Your Crimson cover hosts, John Copeland, Mike Parker, and Chase Goodbread. Sponsored by Burnham Hahn and by Crimson Village.
Welcome into Crimson Cover Television on WVUA 23. I'm Chase Goodbread, the sports columnist with the Tuscaloosa News. I'm joined, as always, by Big John Copeland, consensus All-American of the Alabama 1992 National Championship team. Our third co-host, Mike Parker, not able to be with us tonight. Hopefully we get Mike back next week. Thrilled this week to be talking to Tim Eads and Linda Creek from Crimson Village, one of our great title sponsors. They're going to be joining us a little bit later in the program. But we got a lot to get to sports-wise here on Crimson Cover tonight. We begin with some big transfer news. Going to be talking about the NFL draft. Again, Tim Eads, Linda Creek from Crimson Village going to be joining us in the second segment. A little bit of recruiting talk. A guy from Northridge. We're going to be talking to John about him. A little bit of UA basketball news as well. So plenty to get to here on CCTV. We kick it off, though, with the news that Tyler Harrell, the wide receiver from Louisville, will be transferring to Alabama. He will be eligible this fall. Some highlights of this kid here. John, this is a stretch the field guy. This is a speed burner. He has been clocked multiple times in the 4.2s in the 40-yard dash. Absolutely takes the top off. He only caught 18 balls for Louisville last year, which is not a lot. That's not even 2 balls a game. However, he averaged 29 yards a catch. So this is a guy that can run by you, and that makes him certainly a little bit different from Jermaine Burton, the excellent wide receiver from Georgia, who's a different style guy, a speedy guy, but not a burner like this kid. And he becomes the 5th transfer in through the portal. Of course, the others, Jahmyr Gibbs, the running back from Georgia Tech, Eli Ricks, the cornerback from LSU. You've got Tyler Steen, the offensive lineman from Vanderbilt, coming in, the aforementioned Jermaine Burton, and now it's Tyler Harrell. Maybe he brings another dimension to this offense. We don't have to look back too far, John, only 1 year to find a transfer portal guy who came into Alabama and took the top off at receiver with Jamison Williams.
Chase, I think it's the evolution of football. I think that is where football is headed. I think with this spread offense, and I like to get guys in space and make athletes make plays, let athletes make plays. But you got to have a guy. When defenses was not being honest, when they're daring you to throw the ball deep, you have to have a guy that can stretch the football field, somebody that is extremely explosive. And you don't have to be a great catcher. If you can outrun everybody, then you got a good chance of catching the football. You don't have to be a great route runner. Just run past people is what Jamison did. He wasn't this great route runner. He just ran past people. And I think in this day and age in football, you have to have that.
When you have that guy, it changes the game in a couple different ways, right? Number one, if the cornerback respects that speed, he's going to be playing off. He's going to be giving that guy a little more cushion. Well, now you could throw him a hitch pass and get a free 5 yards, right? That's one aspect to it.
He's not the hitch guy. He's not going to, but he would open up the hitch.
We saw that with Jamison, though, a little bit last year when people were playing way off of him.
He will open up the hitch.
Right.
What it does, in my opinion, is it makes defensive protect the entire football field. You no longer can put 8, 9 guys in the box to stop the run. When you got a guy that's dynamic, that can run the football, stretch the football field like this kid can do, and like Jamison did last year, you no longer can play the safe run defense or the safe underneath guys. You can no longer do that. Now you have to protect the entire football field.
Make safeties cheat. And,
no
and if safeties are cheating for help on that guy, that definitely makes a big difference.
Take them out of run defense.
Yes, it does. Absolutely. The guy, it could be a game changer. Now, here's the thing, though, John. It takes more than just the speed. It takes to prove it. It takes the production, right? You can be that fast, but you're not gonna get the respect we're talking about, where you're getting more cushion and safeties are cheating. That's not gonna happen until a couple touchdowns get scored and defensive coordinators turn the film on and they say, all right, this guy can take the top off. We've got to back off of him. We've got to stop the big play.
Chase, 18 catches, 523 yards, 6 touchdowns. I think that says enough. I think he's proven that he can make that happen.
That ain't even 2 catches a game, though.
Doesn't matter.
That's not a lot of catches.
You get 18 catches, you got 6 touchdowns.
I understand that.
You got 6 touchdowns.
Alabama's going to be looking for more than 18 catches.
No doubt about that. I agree with that. Yeah. But you're saying just because you're fast, you still have to catch the football.
You do.
18 throws, 6 touchdowns.
Alabama's got guys that can run super fast on the bench. They throw them out there, they're not going to get the respect unless touchdowns get scored.
18 catches,
I understand.
6 touchdowns.
Do you think that respect's going to come right out of the gate?
No,
Okay, that's my point.
But what I'm saying is the guy has proven that he can catch the ball down the field. You don't get 6 touchdowns on 18 catches.
He's going to have to
being able to catch.
He's going to have to prove it again.
But here's the thing, Chase.
The SEC.
He doesn't really have to go out there and catch every ball thrown to him. He don't have to do that. He have to catch the stretch the field ball.
Right.
If he miss a couple of underneath balls, okay, fine. But he catch the stretch the field ball, then he's still going to be a superstar.
And the respect comes with that.
No question about it.
But it doesn't come before that.
I agree.
All right. Moving on. The NFL draft is upon us as we record Crimson Cover here this evening. The first round has not yet begun. Of course, by the time we air, the first round will be in the books. But looking ahead to day 2, day 3, Brian Robinson definitely in play, the outstanding Alabama running back. A local guy from Tuscaloosa, John. We've talked about him. He waited his turn. He had a fantastic senior season. He's expected to be off the board, if not on day 2, then probably early on day 3. And there you see some Senior Bowl highlights of Brian Robinson. He's among quite a few Alabama players looking to go beyond that first round.
Chase, if this kid get into the right system, he's a throwback kind of back. He's the guy that's going to get you 4, 5, 6 a pop, 7, 8 a pop, but he's going to do it for 4 quarters. He's not going to be the guy that busts out in the 50, 60-yard runs. He's going to do it the old school way, 4, 6 yards in a cloud of dust. If he get with the right team, and I think Najee Harris, who went to the Pittsburgh Steelers, was a perfect fit for him because that's the kind of football they play. If he go to the right team that play that type of football, we don't need but 4 or 5 yards to carry from you every time you touch the ball, then I think he's going to be a long-time NFL running back.
All right, before we close things out here in our opening segment, the SEC is looking to lead all conferences in draft picks, John, for the 16th consecutive year. The last time any conference other than the SEC had the most draft picks in a draft, I believe it was 2006. Since 2006, every single year the SEC has led the way. This is the time of the year when anybody who dogs the SEC or tries to act like the SEC is no better than the ACC or any other league, those people are quiet when it comes to the draft.
Hey there. If SEC is the best football on the planet. I rival it against the NFL, but I'm from the South, and college football is king in the South. But SEC is God in college football. I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you do, how you do it. SEC is God in football.
All right, that is going to do it for our opening segment here on Crimson Covered Television. Stay with us through the break. When we come back, we're going to be talking to Tim Eads and Linda Creek of Crimson Village Senior Living. Can't wait to talk to them and talk more sports right here on WVUA 23.
Burnham Hahn Exterminators offers termite and pest control solutions for residential and commercial customers in the West Alabama area. Family owned and operated, now in its third generation, we stay up to date with the latest advancements in the pest control industry to protect your family and home from pests. We're an authorized operator of the Centricon baiting system. Burnham Hahn Exterminators, here when you need us. Call us today for your complete termite and pest control services.
Everyone has a story. From simple observations to extraordinary circumstances, the people around us have compelling stories to share. Stories of leadership and dedication, of opportunities that inspire others, of accomplishments and experiences that encourage, teach, and point toward the future. These are the people and stories making an impact at Shelton State Community College. And together, this is our Shelton Statement. Begin yours today.
We are so excited to inform you today that you have been selected as our featured teacher for the month. Congratulations.
Oh, I did not know that. I thought we were talking about the pandemic.
No, we're talking about happy news. Congratulations on being our featured teacher for the month.
Thank you so much.
Susan Engel, WVUA 23's featured teacher winner, sponsored by Shelton State and Bryant Bank.
As you go about your day, you'll want to know what's happening to keep you ahead. WVUA 23 is all new and keeps you connected to the stories that affect you. Log on to get the latest breaking news, weather, and sports. Enjoy our redesigned look, faster speeds, easier to find features, and more. Watch our news anytime, anywhere with our new and improved live stream so you're up to date anywhere you go. The new and improved WVUA23.com. Log on and stay connected today.
Welcome back to Crimson Cover Television on WVUA 23. Chase Goodbread, John Copeland, Tim Eads, and Linda Creek from Crimson Village along for the ride here in our middle segment. Looking forward to chatting with them. Going to be talking a little bit of recruiting news a little bit later in the segment as well. But first, want to talk a little bit more about Crimson Village Senior Living. Tim, I know you've been over there for quite a while.
Yes, sir.
And you know, we mentioned your role as a transition specialist week after week here on Crimson Cover. One of the things that makes Crimson Village special is the Tide Memory Care Program, what we've talked about as well. Why don't you tell the listeners and the viewers a little bit more about it?
Well, our memory care is called the Tides, and it is absolutely a wonderful thing for people because a lot of people have, when they begin to slip in memory, cooking, losing some things, or missing things and not knowing where things are, they're getting to that point where they have to get with their doctor and find out, do they need a memory care place? Mm-hmm. Families have a hard time with memory care residents that live with them because they're having to get up at night. Memory care people lose sleep patterns. They don't know how to eat, or they'll forget to eat. They don't drink enough water because they get severely dehydrated real quick. So there's a lot of things. So families that have children or husband and wives, it's been married a long time, it puts a struggle into their family.
So when you go into the memory care program, what do you get?
You get 24 hours care. Mm-hmm. You get nurses, you get staff, you get your medicine taken care of and making sure they're getting the right medicine. You're getting hydration systems all the time where we're constantly giving them water so they don't get dehydrated. Mm-hmm. You're giving them activities, socialization, because if they're at home with just a son or a daughter, that's the only socialization they're getting. That's right. They're getting socialization with 31 other people in our building, which means it's 32 people. they're eating like it when they go to the dining room. It's like eating at the Piccadilly for them. So it excites them because they get that food and they get excited about that.
That's right. How full is the building? Is the building just memory care? How is that?
We have assisted living, and then we have memory care. Our assisted living of over 70 people is absolutely full. We have done a great job working on that. Linda gets me out speaking to places like this and other situations, the men's YMCA, all kind of places that we get to speak and educate people. Then our memory care is we have 32, and we actually have 9 rooms available left.
Okay.
So it's been really good. God's been good to us this year.
That's
Even
awesome.
through the COVID, it's been very good.
Of all the issues and challenges that you deal with the seniors, Tim, where does memory care rank? I mean, is it kind of at the top of the list?
It is a high top of the list. When you go through that situation with a family member, you realize you can't do this day in and day out. That's a 24-hour
I've been through
job.
it personally. It's difficult.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing because they don't know what they're doing wrong. And you can't tell them to stop, quit, put that down. Don't do that. Yeah. You have to be able to change their thoughts of what they're going to do and be with them and be understanding. It takes a special person to
Linda,
do memory care.
what do you and your partner do for outreach in the community?
Well, I like to call my job meet and greet. So if it's new business, I go out and introduce the Crimson Village Network and what we do at Crimson Village. But Tim and I, the biggest thing I like is educate. Like Chase, I went through the same thing with both parents and had to learn a lot of things. So we go to clubs, media things, but one of the biggest things we do is we market with the churches. Went to my pastor years ago, and so my husband and I were talking one day, and he said, look, you're missing the churches. And somebody said, well, why would you go to them? I said, well, people call on their pastor when they're in a crisis.
That's right.
So Tim and I go to many churches. We don't go in there trying to put your sales team on. We go in there and say, do you know what kind of paperwork? Do you know what home health is? Do you know you have to have a referral for this or that? We just kind of let people know about other things like VA benefits could pay if you qualify. We don't try to tell them that they can get these. We give them the tools. But that's really a great lead generator. And then once that happens, it just comes natural. They'll call. Then Tim does all the processing. He gives them the tour. He does all the family meetings, sets them up, gets them moved in, just gets the wheels rolling immediately.
It is a fantastic facility over there. There's no doubt about it. John and I have toured it more than once. The amenities for the seniors are fantastic. They eat great. There's a lot of activities going on. They get them out of the building, I know, as much as they can as well. So
Let me ask you another question. Let's just say there's a patient or someone that needs that service, but they don't have kids or family members that are monitoring and can get them in those kind of situations. What can somebody like that do to get your kind of service?
Well, this is a good situation. I have a friend that's a guardian, and this young man, he's not young, he's older, but his father passed away and he had a disability. He's able to live in assisted living, but he's not competent enough to handle his finances. So at that point, usually they'll get a referral, I don't know, the physician or maybe somebody in the family. They may have turned over some paperwork that you're in charge as a guardian, but mainly you have someone that's your representative, and oftentimes people, that's another avenue. I do elder care, I go to attorneys, I just go to anybody that I think might have a referral, wealth advisors, bankers. And so a lot of people just have that resource that if they don't have anyone, the bank or the church or somebody's going to take on that guardianship.
Okay, that's awesome.
if you have a senior loved one who could use assisted care, the transitional specialist right here to my right, Tim Eads, you can get a hold of him at 632-6699. It's going to do it for this segment. A lot more coming at you when we come back right here on CCTV at WVUA 23.
We enjoyed it always. Thank you for all you do to help us.
That works.
Better late than never for you and me. Baby, for you and me.
It's good to know that in this impersonal world, there's still a local home-owned drugstore that can take full care of you and your family. The good folks at Northport Pharmacy. Owner and pharmacist Rob Colburn will personally see that all of your prescriptions are quickly and accurately filled and your questions answered. And be sure to check out their gift gallery for the finest in gift selections featuring Alabama merchandise, photo frames, children's clothing, beachwear, jewelry, and more. Remember, when you have pharmaceutical needs, see the man who will take the time to get to know you. Rob Colburn at Northport Pharmacy, located next to CC's Pizza, Highway 82 in Northport.
Burnham Hahn Exterminators offers termite and pest control solutions for residential and commercial customers in the West Alabama area. Family owned and operated, now in its third generation, we stay up to date with the latest advancements in the pest control industry to protect your family and home from pests. We're an authorized operator of the Centricon baiting system. Burnham Hahn Exterminators, here when you need us. Call us today for your complete termite and pest.
Junior achievement is where dreams take flight. We are helping students connect what they learn in school to future work and career success. We are teaching them how to manage money to achieve financial security as adults. And we are showing them that starting a business also means changing lives and communities. However, we can't do it alone. Find out how you can help.
When you or a loved one is diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it can be tough to know where to turn. But the Alzheimer's Foundation of America is here for you. We've helped tens of thousands of people through our 7-day-a-week helpline, connected communities nationwide with information and support through our Educating America tour, and our telephone-based support groups meet weekly, providing assistance and support to families. We do it all because of one thing, you. Join us in the fight against Alzheimer's and donate today. alzfdn.org or call 866-232-8484.
We want to hear your good news stories and be a bright spot. Share your stories with us. Visit us online and click on Bright Spots or message us on social media.
Welcome back to Crimson Cover Television here on WVUA 23. This segment brought to you by Burnham Hahn Exterminators and that quality local service in Tuscaloosa for the last 75 years. Burnham Hahn offers complete pest and termite services for residential or commercial needs, as well as mosquito control, fire ant treatments, whatever your needs are. They're also licensed operators of the Centricon Termite Colony Elimination System. You got to have that if you're a homeowner. It's a year-round service that you need, especially in the hot weather when the termites are out. So call Clay Hahn and his staff. They'll get you started with a monthly or bi-monthly pest control program. You can get them at 553-4433 or visit BurnhamHahn.com. All right, John, we got a lot to pack into our final segment here. I want to thank Linda Creek and Tim Eads from Crimson Village for joining us in the second segment. As we close things out, we're going to start with a little bit of recruiting talk and a recruit that Alabama is interested in that you know very well. You, of course, are a coach over at Northridge High School. They've got an offensive lineman, Wilkin Formby, who's got his top 5 narrowed down to Alabama, Auburn, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Oklahoma. That's a pretty stout offer list, John.
Look at my guy. Look at my guy. I hear you, Wilkins, baby. I hear you, Wilkins. Hey, he's the real deal, Chase. The kid's the real deal.
And
not only he's a great football player, but he's an outstanding young man. He handled himself well, high character guy. Now, he does like to joke and have a good time. He's a leader of our football team. I'm just so proud of this kid. I coached the kid at TA in PE, and we used to play tackle football in PE when he was 3rd grade, maybe 3rd or 4th grade. And to see this kid blossom the way he have, and great family, come from an outstanding family. Whoever get this kid, they're getting a great individual.
You've seen him develop from year to year, get better, improve from year to year.
Well, I've been at Northridge 2 years, and I remember the little kid, the little snotty old kid that was really slow, taller than everybody else. And then I come over to Northridge, and he's a dynamic offensive lineman, huge. And I've just seen him grow. And not only that, though, Chase, this kid, he don't just accept that he have offers to play Division I football. This kid goes out and work every single day to get better. He's not satisfied with just having offers. He want to go to school and go somewhere he can play and be a real factor on the football team that he's playing for.
All right, Alabama basketball news up next. Javon Quinterly, the Crimson Tide guard who was unfortunately injured his knee, tore an ACL in Alabama's NCAA tournament opener, which Alabama lost. He's coming back for another year, John. Kind of a surprise. The word was, and his intention was, certainly at one point, to go ahead and turn pro. He's super quick. He was the best ball handler Alabama had last year, hands down. But with the knee injury, apparently there were enough concerns about that he wasn't going to maybe get the NBA looks that he was hoping for or expecting. And so he's coming back for another run under Nate Oates and maybe show those NBA scouts that he's bouncing back from that knee injury.
I think it's an outstanding pickup for Alabama. I think him coming back is going to be tremendous for this basketball team. But also, you know, I think it's a bigger situation for him, giving him an opportunity to come back and not only prove what he can do, but also make sure you get his education. You know, make sure you leave here with your degree and still be able to go to the NBA and perform at a high level.
All right, a little bit more Alabama basketball transfer news. Outgoing transfers Juwan Gary and Jason Holt have announced they are going to Nebraska and Georgia, respectively. Gary to Nebraska, Holt to Georgia. So there you have that.
Why would anybody want to go to Georgia? I don't mind you transfer, but why would anybody want to go to Georgia?
It was an awful team last year. I think they only won one, and the only SEC game they won was against Alabama. Go figure. But at any rate, the Crimson Cover ticker now, we'll jump to that. Just a couple of notes for you there. Jacksonville Jaguars have signed offensive tackle Cam Robinson to a 3-year deal worth $54 million. They had him franchise tagged, but now they've got him for the longer term. Derrick Henry now a part owner in the Major League Soccer franchise in Nashville. That made the news this week as well. Going to jump to the mailbag here really quickly before we close things out. Ted from Prattville wants to know, what was John's first NFL training camp like? What about it, John? Rookie year, this would have been the summer of 1993, I guess. What are your recollections in Cincinnati?
Well, you know, when I first got to training camp, it was awful. I mean, it's not like nowadays. The facility was trash, and we lived in this college dorm, and it had roaches, and it was awful. But I only spent a week there before we went back to.
Thanks, Mike Brown, right?
I only spent a week there before we went back. I practiced a week in training camp, and I played in the first preseason game. So I was raw. I was just playing off instinct, just playing from what I've learned in college. Didn't understand the NFL game. But my second year was the real deal of training camp. 2 days for 1 month. It showed me that what an NFL professional is
all
supposed
about
to do. Yeah.
We got to get out of here on Crimson Cover really quickly. NCAA President Mark Emmert to step down next June. For John, I'm Chase. We'll see you next week on Crimson Cover.
The Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites in Tuscaloosa invites you to come and experience our award-winning hotel and exceptional hospitality. We are located just minutes from the Alabama campus and area shopping. If it's business, shopping, groups, or family that bring you to town, call us to book your stay. Once you have stayed with us, you'll understand. We welcome you as our guests, and you depart as our friends. The Holiday Inn Express.
Welcome to Baseball Country, a ministry in West Alabama that reaches far outside the diamond. We create opportunities for people of all ages and backgrounds to encounter Jesus. From baseball and softball training for high school to the big leagues, to men's and women's team sports camps, men's and women's ministry, youth mentored hunts, service projects, custom retreats, and so much more. If you want to get in the game, email sam@baseballcountry.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Come out to Water Oaks Farm on April 30th for the 25th Annual Barbecue in Blue Jeans, presented by Harrison Construction. Tickets are $40 for one or $75 for two. Enjoy Maccabee Pigfitter's award-winning barbecue, Jim and Nick's sides, drinks, and draft beer, all included in your ticket. Don't miss